Hello, it's Carly McAvoy. We're talking about volume and surface area. This video is for spheres. The sphere has a formula for volume that is 4/3 pi r cubed. We're talking about three-dimensional space, so we have radius to the third power rather than the second power. And the sphere problems that I have here are a little more challenging than just plugging in. So let's see what we have here. You have a spherical water tank that is 30 feet in diameter. What if it is at 60% capacity? How many gallons of water is it holding? Well, first we need to figure out how many cubic feet we have in there. So we're going to have to find the volume of what it's holding. So we have 4/3 and then pi, and then the radius, that's 30 feet in diameter, so that's 15 feet in for a radius, and that's cubed. Okay, so if I want to, I'm going to do this this way. I'm going to say 4/3 times pi times 15 point, I don't know if this will work or not, but we'll try it cubed. It did. So if you put a decimal point in there somewhere, it tells it to make it a decimal and not leave it just in the pi form. So that's what I get for my feet. I have 14137.17 cubic feet. But I know that my tank is only at 60% capacity. So I need to take this number and multiply it times 0.60. Remember, 60% is 0.6, right? 0.60 or 0.6. So I'm going to just go ahead and multiply that times 0.6. And that gives me 8,482.30 cubic feet. Now this was my volume total. This is how much water I actually have in there. And so it's asking me how many gallons of water is it holding. Well, here's my conversion up here. So I'm going to take 8,482.30 and feet cubed. Remember, 0 is a significant digit. We'll talk more about that later, I guess. And we have what we want to do is put that over 1 and then multiply. Sorry, we want to get rid of cubic feet, and we know that 1 cubic feet has 7.48 gallons. So by writing it this way, you see how our cubic feet, one on the top and one on the bottom, goes away. And if I just take and multiply my answer that I had here times 7.48, which would be given to you, you don't have to know that in your head. But a lot of people do kind of know that a cubic foot of water is about 7.5 gallons. I don't know how often you would use that, but some people do know it. And so what I find out is they actually have 63,447.61 gallons. Yes, you have a lot more gallons than cubic feet because each cubic foot has 7.5, almost 7.5 gallons of water in it. So we find the volume, we multiplied by 60%, and then we converted those cubic feet into gallons. That's kind of challenging, but fun. Let's look at surface area of a sphere. There's not like lateral and total because, let's face it, there's no parts to just a sphere, so that's all or nothing. 4 pi r squared, remember, it's square units whenever we're talking about that. Well, unfortunately, the picture that I chose was colored and it did not print very well, but there's just a nice little picture. It showed you the radius in there. Anyways, that's not too hard. How many square yards of material is needed to make a spherical tank with a radius of 18 feet? Look at this formula. The only thing you need is the radius. No problem. We're just going to do 4 and then pi and then the 18 squared. How many square yards though? Oh, so we do have to do a conversion at the end, right? Because we're given it in feet and we asked in yards. So that's tricky. I almost didn't notice, and I'm the one that wrote the problem. You really have to read these closely. Okay, so let's do 4.0 times pi. Why did I do the 0.0? Just to make sure it comes out as a decimal, and then 18 squared. And that gives me a surface area of 4,071.50, and this is feet squared. Now, it asks how many square yards, so maybe they only sell it by the square yard. So what I'm going to do is take 4,071.5 square feet, put it over 1, times, what's the conversion? Well, I want to get rid of square feet and I want to end up with square yards. Take a look at what a square yard looks like in feet. If this is a square yard, which isn't terribly square looking in my picture, but I have 3 feet this way and I have 3 feet this way. So how many square feet are there in every square yard? This is 1 yard and this is 1 yard, right? So this is 1 square yard, but it's 3 times 3 or 9 square feet for every 1 square yard. So we have that conversion that you can memorize, or you can work it out like I just did, or you can look it up when you need it. Okay, so square feet go away. And in this case, I'm taking that answer, 4,071, and I'm dividing it by 9 because I'm actually getting fewer cubic yard or square yards than I would have in square feet. And so my surface area is 452.39 square yards. Now, if you're going to go to buy this somewhere, you probably would not be able to buy it like that, right? You'd have to buy at least 453 square yards, and you might have to buy more because there's some loss as you work with it. But for our purposes, this is exactly how much you need. Now, whether you could actually buy that much, don't know. Okay, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you next time.